My colleague Geeta Mohan, in fact, is joining us live from Malé, the Maldives. Geeta, clearly the tour agent that you were speaking with, the travel agent, he expressing the sentiment of the travel and tourism industry over there in Maldives, which is feeling the heat of the campaign here in India. They do realize that the maximum footfall in 2023 in the Maldives came from Indian tourists. So this is something which is definitely having an impact on the ground in itself.
Absolutely. This is and it's not just the tourism sector where the industry is jittery about how it is going to impact right now. There are a lot of Indian tourists coming in only because they were already traveling. But in the coming future, if the relations are not mended, there could be a serious impact, and that's what is worrying them. But it's not just the tourism sector. Right behind me is the Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital, a very important project by the Indian government, a gift from India. And India has played a very important role when it comes to not just tourism, hospitality, but also the medical connection between India and the Maldives when it comes to hospital building, hospitals and the care facilities. India has been at the forefront, and it's not just about providing humanitarian assistance and medical facilities here in the Maldives. Most of the Maldivians who require serious treatment go to India. So a lot of common Maldivians are saying to those who have trolled the Indian Premier and India that the rich can decide, and these are the very same ministers and MPs, that you can decide to go to a country such as Singapore or some other country where you can afford the medical facilities. But for every other common Maldivian, India is the destination for any medical care. So this is an example of India-Maldives cooperation. And it's not just here. There are many other infrastructure projects in the Maldives where India has played a very important role, including in funding their budgetary deficits. And that continues since 1978 till today. So a lot of rethink will have to be done by the new administration. Everywhere you go, you see how deeply entrenched India really is in the Maldives, and not in a bad way, in a very positive way, where India has allowed the Maldives to make decisions to decide on what they want to do. And every time we've seen a change of government over here, we've seen how the tilt towards a particular country, in this case China, really takes place. And despite that, India has never stopped engaging the Maldives. It's the Indian Ocean, and securing these waters, securing India's strategic interest is paramount.
Right. Geeta, thank you for joining us with that perspective. So it's not just the tourism sector in Maldives that is taking a hit, because India is much more entrenched in fact, providing other facilities as well in the Maldives. Meanwhile, NC President, National Conference President, Dr. Farooq Abdullah has hinted that the diplomatic tension that erupted between India and the Maldives over derogatory remarks against Prime Minister Narendra Modi could be due to, quote, the rising hatred between Hindus and Muslims in India. Listen in.
आज जो ये कंट्रोवर्सी हो रही है, मुझे ये समझ नहीं आती ये क्यों हो रही है, क्या वजह है? क्या इस वजह से है क्योंकि भारत में जो नफरतें पैदा हो रही हैं हिंदू और मुसलमानों में, क्या ये वजह हो सकती है? मैं नहीं जानता। देखिए, चाइना का इन्फ्लुएंस तो हर जगह बढ़ रहा है। चाइना का इन्फ्लुएंस वहीं नहीं बढ़ रहा है, आपके नेपाल में बढ़ रहा है जो हमारा पड़ोसी है, पाकिस्तान में तो पहले से ही है, बांग्लादेश में भी बढ़ रहा है। चाइना ने हमें घेर रखा है।
मेरे हिसाब से ये दिखाता है कि मालदीव में राजनीतिक परिपक्वता की थोड़ी कमी है, और वो वहाँ पर ध्रुवीकरण राजनीतिक मसलों पर किया जा रहा है, और अपने देश के हित को सोचने की बजाय वो एक दूसरे से स्कोर सेटलिंग की बातें कर रहे हैं.
Some people in Maldives have been polluting the minds of Maldivian people, and China has played an important, significant role in doing this. And it has not only doing that, it has been generally providing all the assistance to the conservative elements in Maldives. And the current regime in Maldives is certainly not, I would say, they're perhaps pro-development, but they're also very, very conservative. There is an Islamic tilt to their policies. But as they settle down, they would realize that without India, it's going to be extremely difficult for Maldives to navigate.
Now, Prime Minister's visit to the Union Territory has boosted tourism in Lakshadweep, with Indian tour operators now offering special travel packages and discounts to those wanting to visit Lakshadweep. But the question is, how can one reach Lakshadweep in India today? In fact, KG Shibimol has decoded it for us in this report. Take a look.
Well, we are right now on top of the lighthouse here in Kavarati, the capital of Lakshadweep, and what you can see from here is one of the most beautiful visuals. It's sea as well as lush green complementing each other. In fact, it's one of the clearest water that we can ever find because it's blue and it's purely clear and clean. Crystal clear, and on the other side you find the lush green. It's full of coconut trees actually, and in between you find lots of small houses. It might not be really visible in the visuals actually, but there are lots of small houses in between. Kavarati is more like a residential area, and the coconut plays a very important role in its one of the occupations, because there's a lot of mills where it gets processed. Fishing is another main occupation of the people of Lakshadweep. Now, but these houses are not really visible in our visuals, but only when you stand here in the lighthouse you can see these small houses. But yes, on the other side of the sea you can see the place where the ships and cruises actually reach and stop. That's where the passengers board and deboard. In fact, you see this long stretch of road. Once you deboard from your cruise or ship, you actually travel, you get the public transport. There's auto rickshaws and other cabs that you get from there. You take that, and once you reach the end of the stretch of the road, that's where the police actually checks your permit. You require a permit to travel to Lakshadweep. Whether cruise or flight, you need a permit and a clearance certificate. So once you reach the end part, there'll be local police checking your entry permit. And once they clear it, you are allowed to travel throughout Lakshadweep. Now, Kavarati is more like an administrative region and residential region. It's Mini Koi, Bangaram and other islands. Agatti, these are the main spots for water sports, water activities, as well as tourism purpose. Now, Bangaram Island is one of the most beautiful islands. Bangaram Island is one of the most beautiful islands. That's where exactly Prime Minister Modi, was there, and he actually shared the pictures of Bangaram Island. So that's not inhabited. That do not have residents actually, but it's specifically meant for tourists. So it's mostly clear, and there's a lot of privacy. Is what the residents have been telling. It's one of the most beautiful places to visit in Lakshadweep. But yes, Kavarati is where you actually travel from to and fro, because this is the main spot for travel. You get vessels from Kavarati to travel to Agatti as well as other islands. So it's a main region, is the administrative region, as well as a main region for anybody to travel to and fro to different islands. There are 36 islands, out of which 10 are inhabited. With video journalist Kiran, this is Shibimol KG for India Today from Lakshadweep.